Hey guys, welcome back to the channel McNallie Money, your home of all things stock, investment, and personal finance related. In today's video, we're going to be profiling Victory Metals. This is a rare earth focused company based in Australia, an exciting story that I wanted to tell you a bit more about in today's presentation. Before we get into it, take a second, hit the like button guys, big help to myself and the channel, specifically in getting this content to other people like you who may find value. If you're not already subscribed, McNallie Money, feel free to join and let us know in the comments section below if you've heard of Victory Metals before or you're currently holding shares. With that being said, let's get into today's video. Okay guys, so that's right. Today's video, we're going to be profiling Victory Metals Ltd. Before we get into it, I did want to acknowledge this video has been posted on behalf of Victory Metals. As always, please conduct your own research. Now, as you can see, trades on the Australian Stock Exchange under the ticker VTM. I've got a one-day view up. This is as of close on Friday, March 27th. As I mentioned in the intro, this is an Australian-based company focused on rare earths with a very exciting story that we'll walk through in today's presentation. Now, speaking of exciting, if we zoom out to a 1 month view, you can see up a respectable 5.15%. At a year-to-date view, just north of 20%. At a 1 year interval, an impressive 262% return. And if you zoom out to a 5-year graph on Victory Metals, you can see up just north of 470%, really reflective of what we're seeing in the broader macro environment as it relates to rare earths and securing the supply chain domestically for these rare minerals. Now, because this is the first time covering Victory Metals on the channel, I wanted to pop over to the website victorymetalsaustralia.com. I'll leave this linked, of course, in the video description below if you'd like to go in and take a closer look at any of this information for yourself. Again, you can see the ticker, Australian Stock Exchange, listed under VTM, the future of Australian rare earths, specifically their North Stanmore project, which we'll talk about in detail throughout today's presentation. Now, as you continue to scroll down, you can see a clip from the CEO along with a description noting that the North Stanmore Heavy Rare Earth Project is Australia's largest and most advanced heavy rare earth clay project. It's located in Kew, Western Australia, and the project hosts a JORC compliant resource of 321 million tons, supporting a mine life in excess of 60 years, with heavy rare earths to total rare earth ratios, or HREO to TREO ratio, averaging 39% and reaching up to 83% in some cases. As a result, the North Stanmore, which we'll talk about in today's presentation, represents one of the most heavy rare earth enriched clay deposits globally, and is exactly why so many people or investors are excited about this story, as we just saw in terms of the price action. Now, as we continue to scroll down, you can see Victory Metals at this North Stanmore project has proven its ability to produce all 7 rare earth elements currently under Chinese export restrictions, which are dysprosium, terbium, yttrium, scandium, samarium, gadolinium, and lutetium, making this one of the few Western-aligned sources of these defense-critical materials. And as I just mentioned, the United States specifically has put a renewed focus on securing the supply chain for these critical materials. Obviously, a lot of geopolitical tension around the world right now, and securing these defense supply chains is absolutely crucial to national security. Now, if we click onto the project tab on the company's website, you can see more detail about the North Stanmore clay-hosted heavy rare earth project. It's located in Western Australia, as I just mentioned, a proven mining jurisdiction, adjoining established major road network with access to rail, airports, and port infrastructure, so well-established infrastructure in a mining-friendly region with a proven track record. Victory's contiguous tenement package totals over 16,500 hectares with an additional 12,500 hectares of 10-year applications. The entire package lies adjacent to major infrastructure corridors, as we just mentioned, providing a logistical and development advantage rarely seen in new projects of this scale and strategic significance. And this is actually a look at the Victory North Stanmore project itself, along with the various different drill holes in stage 1 and 2, the granted tenements, the tenements under application, and the existing infrastructure. Now, I just mentioned some of the impressive numbers as it relates to this resource: 321 million tons, supporting a mine life of more than 60 plus years. Again, with that critical heavy rare earth to total rare earth ratio averaging about 39%, and reaching all the way up to 83%. Also worth noting, with PFS, or pre-feasibility study level capex definition, strong government alignment, which I just mentioned, Victory presents a highly strategic opportunity in the global race to secure non-Chinese based heavy rare earth supply. Now, if we pop into the Investor Hub portion of the website, again, more great information available about Victory Metals. You can see their recent announcements or press releases, along with company reports and the investor presentation, really breaking down some of the key investment themes around Victory Metals and how it offers exposure to high-value, heavy rare earths and critical minerals essential to electrification, defense, and advanced technology, of which we talk a lot about on this channel. And again, some of the key differentiators of Victory Metals itself, including that world-class Tier 1 jurisdiction, one of the largest heavy rare earth clay resources globally, exposure to the most valuable rare earths, again, all 7 of which are currently under Chinese export restriction, and this multi-commodity critical minerals upside, including scandium, which is used in lightweight alloys for aerospace and defense, gallium, critical to semiconductors, once again defense electronics and high-frequency communication, and hafnium, which is used in aerospace and advanced nuclear applications. So in addition to the rare earth elements, North Stanmore offers exposure to these other strategically important metals, which as an investor gives you an even more diversified exposure to this critical minerals market. Now, this is where the story gets interesting. On March 17th, an article came out from Cashew entitled "Victory Metals Building the West's Next Strategic Rare Earth Supply Source." This one caught my attention. You can see they make reference once again to the impressive all-time share price performance in this snapshot, up over 560%, and then go on to talk about some of these key global trends, including defense capability, energy transition, and supply chain security, all of which can be directly benefited by Victory Metals. Going on to talk about the importance of these heavy rare earth elements in things like magnets that power F-35 fighter jets and missile systems, all the way to offshore wind turbines. And as I mentioned in the intro, specifically calling out that governments are now actively looking to secure alternative sources of supply, specifically or particularly in Western aligned jurisdictions. Now, a couple numbers worth noting: the resource itself, as they mention, currently sits at 320.6 million tons at 510 parts per million TRIO, as we discussed earlier on the company website, and the initial scoping study outlined a 1.2 billion Australian dollar NPV and a 52% IRR, or internal rate of return, which positions the project as economically robust even before this recent technical improvement we've seen in the macro environment. Now, they then talk about the site itself, again noting that this is 100% residing on Crown land, which eliminates landowner access and resettlement considerations, which are often a concern or problematic for exploration and mining firms. They talk about some of the existing infrastructure, including the regional airport with reliable commercial airline access, and the fact that this project has quickly de-risked, with a recent article we'll look at in a second talking about a 48x flotation upgrade with dramatically increased concentration grades while rejecting the vast majority of waste up front. In addition to this, test work has also shown that roughly 80% of the rare earths here can be leached within 30 minutes, which is far faster than typical assumptions used in these type of operations. Now, at the same time, the company has begun to attract additional validation. A US EXIM letter of interest for up to $190 million and a non-binding LOI with Sumitomo indicate that the project is already being recognized as part of a broader push to secure, once again, non-Chinese supply. And here you can see just how important these rare earths are for modern defense systems, including fighter jets, as I just mentioned, Virginia-class submarines, and even destroyers. And in summary, the article talks about a number of reasons why you may want to take a closer look at Victory Metals itself, also noting a clear pipeline of near-term catalysts led by Q2 2026 PFS, or pre-feasibility study, which, by the way, April 1st kicks off the start of Q2. Now, this is that press release that they just made reference to, which came out on the 2nd of March just this year, talking about this 48x rare earth upgrade to 5.9% trio, with Victory Metals announcing the first pass cider flotation test work results from its 100% owned North Strathmore heavy rare earth element project in Western Australia, with these exceptional results delivering a remarkable 48x upgrade in total rare earth oxide or trio concentration from the raw ore, confirming the potential for a simple, low-cost physical beneficiation circuit. Now, based on these tests, the successful concentrate now represents 1,251 parts per million trio, head grade in the vicinity to Victory's head grade shallow zone, to a peak concentrate grade of 5.9% trio, while achieving rapid flotation kinetics and preserving the deposit's premium 38% HREO to trio ratio. So this was obviously a big catalyst for Victory Metals, and again, one of the key things they cite in that article. Now, Cashew Research, which is a division of Cashew Group, also put out an equity research report on Victory Metals. This one came out again on the 17th of March, giving a $3.50 Australian price target, representing 148% upside at the time this was put together, so trading within 2 cents of the $1.43 we saw in the intro. They cite many of the same themes we've discussed in today's presentation in terms of their investment thesis, talking about that pivotal March flotation breakthrough, the fact that China currently dominates the global supply chain, and that recent US Exim letter of interest for up to $190 million US in potential financing, and a letter of intent with Summit Omo Corporation. Now, we talked about the macro backdrop, the importance of securing Western aligned supply chain for these strategically critical rare earths. Case in point, Trump's recent CTEP mandate, tasking Congress to find alternatives to supply chains based out of China, and Project Vault, as it's known, which further reinforces the Western supply chain response, approving up to $10 billion for the proposed U.S. Strategic Critical Minerals Reserve, aimed at stockpiling essential materials and protecting manufacturers from potential supply disruptions. Now, in addition to that, we've also seen heavy rare earth prices on the increase. They command a strong strategic premium. You can see yttrium, for example, prices surging up to 4,400%. And the key strategic importance of this North Stanmore asset, again, the map we looked at on the company website, along with Victory's March 2025 scoping study, returning an operating cost of just 25.50 Australian per ROM ton, which underpins a projected 2-year capital payback. So very encouraging projections, along with some of the key recent announcements, which we talked about: the March flotation breakthrough, the Q4 2025 rapid leach kinetics, showing that 80% rare earth discovery in approximately 30 minutes, and a number of key press releases littered throughout 2025 that have helped de-risk this story even further. Now, in terms of what to expect moving forward, we talked about the PFS or pre-feasibility study expected in Q2 of this year. This will act obviously as a key catalyst for Victory Metals. In 26 or 27, project financing and key strategic partnership finalization is expected to occur, and they're targeting a 2028 Q3 commissioning, positioning North Stanmore as one of the first new Western heavy rare earth projects to reach production in the entire decade. Now, they then go on to talk about the NAV methodology, or the net asset value methodology, a 70% discount applied to the post-tax lowercase pricing scooping NPV. You can see the calculations broken down on the screen, resulting in that Cashew Research 12-month price target of $3.50 Australian, based on approximately 121 million diluted shares. Now, as always, there are risks involved with any investment. This is a development stage project. We talked about the volatility of rare earth pricing and obviously the geopolitical backdrop or tension that's going on in the world right now. But that being said, maybe worth a closer look at Victory Metals if you're looking for exposure to rare earths, again, a diversified portfolio, and based on what Cashew Research is seeing, could be a great way to add this type of exposure to your portfolio. Now, as always, I'd be curious to hear your thoughts in the comment section below, specifically if you've heard of Victory Metals before or you currently hold shares. If you're still watching the video at this point, hopefully you found some value. So make sure you hit the like button, you guys. It's a big help to myself and the channel, specifically in getting this content to other people who may find value. If you're not already subscribed, McNallie Money, feel free to join the community. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.